Well, first, I wasn't talking to you. Not you, Soseki-san. In other words, Inspector...
I think somebody might need to get the hospital! The person next to me is slowly dying!
I'm fine now. Thank you for your patience.
Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago.
What, you mean they did their job? How dare they do their job?
I know, right? Who does their job in a courtroom? Hello everybody, welcome back to the first case of the second grade Ace Attorney game. We have already explained the concept of a newspaper, and we are looking at the backside of the newspaper we received earlier in the case. I think.
Did you know?
There we go.
Newspapers have multiple pages.
Did you know that the news was printed on paper?
No, I didn't know!
Also,
Did you know?
Hold up.
Oh, what?
Hold up.
Huh?
That art for Ryutaro looks great.
Do you want the
hello?
Do you want the full art later?
I'm just impressed by how successfully androgynous it looks.
I know, it's great.
Wow. Okay.
I love how they I like how you're trying to be disguised as a man, but they still made the choice to put pink on for aesthetic reasons.
Well, I think the game model, you can tell more obviously that it's Susato, because we already know what to look for. But then you look at this art. This art is very intentionally androgynous. And I love it.
You know what's really funny? This art was teased before the game even came out, and people were there were two camps. There was the camp that everyone suspected it was Susato, and then there was the camp that was no, this is actually someone related to Ryutaro, so they got him. They got him. I remember this. A big old debate about who this freaking character was. It was funny as heck. So, they got him.
Did you know? This is a newspaper from Soseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive! Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. From Yume's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen?
It's this morning's paper that Soseki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know?
Embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned this information?
Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning the story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence.
Eugene, what is with your lab and the lab's obsession to make poisons? I'm kind of concerned.
I put Ray in charge of the project.
Ray? She was managing it? Father, that could kill her.
I mean, Susato, do you understand how poison works?
Yes, if you touch it, you die.
Okay, so who would you have put in charge of it?
You?
So, would it have killed me?
You've lived a nice and long life.
I don't think I like this implication that Susato wants her father to die. This is
more why did you put a student in charge of this project who could possibly get killed on it? That seems very irresponsible, but Lewis took it.
Lewis, what is going on in that head of yours, man? We're going to dark places.
But it could kill her, yes, as most poisons are wont to do.
Okay, can we continue? This is going to a really dark place.
If what's written here is true.
I mean, heck, Susato came back to Japan thinking her father was dying.
It means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
We need to read this article very carefully.
Poison article! An article about poison that was stolen from a laboratory at Yume University! Even my father, who's responsible for the lab, knew nothing of the incident! By the way, I am not the daughter of Yujin Yukitoba. I'm just reading the statements.
Pen.
No. That's how my thought process sounds in my head.
Okay.
Usata's internal monologue.
Oh boy,
Can I see
Sora,
that?
lucky emblem.
There's some sort of emblem here.
Yes, it looks pretty lucky as well.
I
It
don't
isn't
know
the
about
Yume-
that.
It isn't a Yume University one, though. Wait,
Yes, it isn't a Yuma University one. I was just about to say that.
I'm sorry. I've raised you so well. I'm starting to be able to predict what you're about to say.
I think that's actually a bit more concerning. If that's the predictor I'm going to say, that sounds like you're very controlling.
I don't know what you're talking. I've raised my daughter right. It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind.
An organization?
This is
Don't
not.
think about it.
Stop thinking about Kingdom Hearts.
Don't think about it. But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Fountain pen update! The fountain pen that the victim was found grasping in her hand. It carries the initials RM as well as an emblem of some description.
Was there anything else? Oh, I guess I can examine that. Yeah.
Can we open the pen?
I don't know.
The RM initials are very clearly engraved here.
And the fact that Miss Bretz was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message, too.
Identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case.
If we take off the pen's lid,
It
Oh,
is
would you
a.
look at that. It's a pen.
It's a pen.
If we take off the lid, you'll
We-
find what you're
we-
expecting under there.
We get a pen.
I took it off. I've connected the dots.
You have not connected shit.
I've connected them. Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
We're gonna what now?
Father, you don't know how pens work?
Oh, wait. There's no ink. Wait, what? Hold on.
This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib.
Is something wrong, Father?
Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there, that's all.
So you do know how pens work? Oh yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
Another update to the fountain pen! There is a very small amount of liquid still inside the ink reservoir.
I don't
Did
think
it suck up the poison, maybe?
that's. You know what? That's where my head was going for a moment.
We don't know if it's ink.
We just said it was a liquid.
It could be poison. It could be blood. We don't know.
I have the suspicion we have to present the newspaper. Can I go back? Oh my god! Okay, what is the button to go back? I forgot.
Oh
my God.
Tutorial?
Gabba gaboo? Okay. Alright, hold on. What was the button to move forward and back? Okay,
That's,
Z is back. What's the other one? Why is it Z?
We are rediscovering the
Z?
controls in real time.
So D is forward, apparently, and Z is back for some reason on the keyboard, which makes absolutely no sense to me.
What? That's okay.
That at least you figured out how to go forward and back, and also forward and back, and then forward and back, and then back and forward.
Lewis,
Turtle.
You need to understand, I'm doing tea right now. I'm fighting Cruise Chaser again. I don't need to be reminded of forward and back right now.
You kept saying forward and back. I don't know what you thought was gonna happen.
Anyway, I think we present the newspaper here because she definitely has a good reason for it.
Yeah, actually.
I'm gonna go get this newspaper. Yeah?
Objection!
Yes.
No, there's one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound.
What?
The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser.
Well, first off, I'm not losing.
You're not exactly winning it so far either.
Good point.
Then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in the newspaper article. An article about deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume Unit.
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case.
Prosecutor Alchi, you will let the defense speak.
But a newspaper article? The court cannot rely on this kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Rely on your hearsay all the time, but, I don't make a big deal about it. But anyway, counsel for the defense. I'm going to need some tangible basis for your claim here. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency!
Shut up, Starscream.
But Megatron!
What? Father, what's a Megatron?
Don't worry about it. Just don't ask questions. Don't ask questions.
Yes, of course. Thank you. I would have never done something to further endanger Miss Betty's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled a knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says...
Stolen from the laboratory or deadly in tiny quantities? Either of those options is a thing.
I mean, I want to know the answer to question 3, but that doesn't help with the case.
No.
Also,
am I picking
pretty
that?
sure
Well,
that never gets
Yeah, I think it would have to be the middle one because the article literally is about it being stolen, so that it being deadly would tie it back to how it probably could have hurt Brett's.
Yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll go.
a stab wound is bad, but probably not fatal. But if it was poisoned,
yeah, okay.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body and a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes.
are you suggesting?
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membani-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body.
What?
This is complete and utter nonsense!
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny this possibility.
You've not read the post-mortem report. The cause of death was hemorrhage.
Well, apparently no one else read it because this is why we're debating it in the first place.
The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, but that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please. That is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind. Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is not reliable anyway.
Okay, so then find the knife and test it.
What does it say?
Easy. If there's no poison on the knife, then you're right.
And we're screwed if that's the case.
In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potential lethal weapon to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Why did they suspect that stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
Death would have occurred within minutes.
Oh wait, my toe says street pupil constriction was observed in the victim in both. Does that happen when you get stabbed?
I mean, what does the newspaper article itself say? Did we ever actually inspect the, that? Yeah. Secretly developed. Current methods cannot detect a newly developed chemical. Okay. Occurs within minutes.
Aha!
Contraction of the pupils. Okay, contraction of the pupils.
Alright, here we
Happens
go.
within minutes and contraction of the pupils.
Okay.
And
Okay,
impaired
we got
breathing,
it.
but I don't think that's...
Well, like
Well,
she,
here.
yeah, she
'Cause she's
did-
dead.
Yeah, she also said that she had something in the lungs, so I'm assuming they just implied that because she couldn't breathe. I guess I don't know.
What?
You can't possibly.
Your expression, counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. Modern.
Quote unquote.
Modern. The court demands evidence.
Hey, this
This
is
modern justice system.
look. This is a big leap for Japan. You don't understand.
Yes, Your Excellency, in the modern year of
1900.
19XX.
Well, that means it could take place in the 90s, or whatever.
190X.
I'm well aware of that. I see it so many times from my place at his side on the Old Bailey.
In that case, counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article?
We presented a newspaper, so I'm assuming we're presenting the post-mortem report now.
I assume so.
Because they have the
sense
newspaper,
to
right?
me.
Yeah.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, which was observed in the victim.
Ah.
Did you just quack?
I thought
I
he
thought
was
you were
black.
turtle, not a duck. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that the condition of the victim was noted in the postmortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death?
Well,
Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with the acute constriction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely,
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately. Without doubt.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree this is very compelling evidence.
You, yokel student and yokel professor!
Excuse me, I'm literally a professor at the Yume University.
He is the professor at the famous university.
I don't think you understand what a yokel means now, but alright, go off.
Also,
Ouchie, sure.
Can I how did they know that's what the pupils will look like if someone was poisoned by it? Does that imply that someone has died while they tested it?
I mean, they probably tested it on animals and
Okay.
and observed it, because, you know, usually when they do these kind of things, they would test it on animals, usually.
There was unfortunately most likely animal testing, yeah. I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defendant's actions.
No.
Yuji Mikotoba? Yes, Your Excellency? I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's arguments. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
Whoop, cat's out of the bag.
It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know. You don't know? Toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft. Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded? No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic! Unaware of the theft of Secret State's research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper.
Honestly, it's the most modern thing in this game. Only finding out sensitive news on Twitter? Oh man, yeah, that's the most modern thing in this game right here. I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded.
Is that Ray? Yeah, okay.
None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Mari-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew.
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that Professor and Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper.
So, why are we letting a student oversee a very, potent poison that's, like, government
I
secret?
asked that earlier! And
I
then you got
ask it
derailed by
again.
saying...
That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken.
The pen!
So I decided to try and get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea of who the thief was.
Disease? You don't mean...
Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman.
Mr. Sale Brett?
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on the stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew nothing I don't know why that flash was there. As if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison.
Well now, whatever do you mean?
And then... she suddenly got to her feet. Before falling to her knees in front of me and... then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it. In other words, you realized that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips while I'd been with her. Which had left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
And the blade of the knife in her back.
That train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes. If the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Your attempt to try to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It's very perceptible, but I do think the balance have shifted a little here in this courtroom now. Never mind.
Excellency, do not be deceived! The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, then, son, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed? Well, you have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive.
What?
What's this prosecution counsel up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Ouchie.
So, he wants to present this, and then he hesitated. So there's something about it that he doesn't want us to see at the same time, I guess.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I'd imagine there would be no need for me to submit this evidence.
I just realized why I thought of him as an egg, because he keeps saying yokel.
Yeah.
But you brought this on yourself.
What the?
Wait a second!
Wait, who?
But a more damning shot exists. The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
Wait, where's this picture taken from? Wait, where was this picture being taken? Wait, huh? Who took the picture?
Wait a second!
Oh, yes.
That that does not prove that she got stabbed. That proves instead that there was a hole in the hut for Giselle Brett to be stabbed through.
But who was phone?
You proved the opposite point, Ochi.
I think that's my
You just helped our case.
I think that's my
You colossal dumbass.
In my defense, let's be honest, people in this universe don't really have that high of an attention span.
God damn it, Starscream.
Drawn! Anyway, this evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that when Bobby-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
Does
Or
it
the moment she
really?
was pulling it out, but whatever.
No, that's not true.
I don't believe it.
Okay, you all need to
No,
chill
acting-
out. Can we just
Like,
talk
yo-
about somebody took a picture through the freaking hut? Hello?
See, this is only proving my point about low attention spans in this universe.
Someone's a peeping Tom.
Yeah, the murderer probably. That picture was taken by the murderer probably. Order! 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 Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice is yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
I'll show you who started the chat.
Careful now. Susato is starting to show her face here. It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof.
Sir, we have other issues with this picture. The fact that it exists is a problem.
The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence.
You realize a picture being worth 1,000 words is because the 1,000 words can be up to anyone's interpretation.
This picture is worth 1,000 words. Unfortunately, I can't read!
I'm now just reminded of the song 1,000 Words in Final Fantasy X2.
Good song.
How many
Incriminating.
times you have to dodge the lightning?
No! Why? That was the first game,
Fuck
wasn't
that
it?
minigame.
Incriminating photograph. A photographic print taken at the moment the victim was attacked. My friend Ray can be seen kneeling over Miss Brett.
I feel like all these are being read by Susato now.
This Susato's inner monologue is Barbie.
Yes, that's the accent I've been trying to practice with my English. I don't know why. I can't believe he's had a photograph like this up his sleeve the entire time. It's such a stuck image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
You're all dumb.
Wait a minute. I don't understand. How did you... who took that photograph?
Ray,
A
asking...
brain cell? In this courtroom?
Ray, asking the important question here.
Hey,
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert
I think that's
attention.
highly important.
That is the most important question here!
Oh,
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photograph print was a witness to the Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
We sure do, but we're out of time, so we're gonna continue this in the next video. We'll see you all then.
I am pointing furiously.